Hi, Jordan Mortimer with the Aspire for Freedom Tribe, and I help internet marketers build profitable online businesses. Now, do you find yourself struggling with basically feeling really frustrated about putting all the time and all the effort and all the energy that you have to spare into your online business, but you're just not seeing the results that you wish you were? And do you feel that the system or opportunity or whatever you've gotten involved with isn't quite meeting the expectations you have with it? If so, pay close attention to this live, where I'm going to share with you a story about someone who I saw recently join the system that I'm involved with, and how he was feeling frustrated, and the lesson that I learned from seeing the discussion that went on between him and the other members of our group. So what happened was we just recently had a new member join in our community a couple of months ago, and in that time he'd made maybe 3 or 4 sales, and I've been following him for a while, and I've been keeping track of how he's been going, and what he's been doing all the right things. He's been very active. He's been creating and producing each day. He's been taking the steps necessary to go out and build an online business, and he was working on his mindset, but he was still frustrated. And what happened was a couple of weeks ago, he put up a comment saying that he saw all these people, all the top earners in our community, who have been making sales and people making serious money in the first few weeks. Like, for example, one of the newer top earners in our group, I won't say his name, but he was one of the newer top earners in our group. He joined just a month ago, and he's made over $20,000 in his first month. And yeah, so the first guy I was talking about, he was wondering why he's not seeing those sorts of results and what he was doing wrong. Now, here's the deal. In internet marketing, we're involved in an industry where you're basically taught to always take your last success and then showcase it for the world to see. It's a powerful marketing strategy because people like to join people who are producing results themselves and who they feel can help for them, or who they feel can help them. The official name for this is social proof, and it's one of the more powerful marketing strategies that you can implement. And this will also lead to the occasional rags to riches story popping up and getting showcased and put out there. Because like the person I was talking about before, I mean, he wasn't quite rags. He's been quite successful, but basically he was able to produce huge results in his first month of getting started. So you do see the occasional rags to riches stories. And you might have heard of Dave Woods, who went from living in his van to making $30,000 per month in just 90 days. You might have also heard about Jonathan Budd, who was living in his parents' basement and he went from that to making $50,000 a month in the first 6 months of his endeavors. Or another example of this is Matt Lloyd, who went from making $900 a month to making $100,000 a month in just a year. So, first of all, there's no arguing there with the results. The results speak for themselves, and it's fantastic that these people have been able to do so well for themselves. But here's something that everyone ought to know about these stories of rags to riches, because to get a better understanding as to how they were able to accomplish these feats, we need to dig a little deeper. And one of a really fantastic quote that really demonstrates this is the following: "Every overnight success was 8 years in the making." I can't remember exactly who said that, so if you know, please let me know in the comments. But basically it goes, every overnight success was 8 years in the making, and it paints an absolutely perfect picture as to why the 3 people I just talked about above, why the other top earner I just talked about before, why they were all able to accomplish such huge results in seemingly such little amount of time. Here's the truth. Dave Wood, he'd been involved in traditional network marketing for nearly 7 years before he found the internet. And over those 7 years in network marketing, he'd learned and almost perfected the art of selling. And by finding the internet, it simply allowed him a means to generate more leads. And his 7 years of learning how to sell offline actually allowed him to close almost every single lead that he generated. So in reality, the truth of the fact is his journey to $30,000 per month was actually a 7-year and 3-month process. Another example is, another example is Jonathan Budd, who, similarly to Dave Wood, he'd been involved in network marketing before he'd found the internet, and he'd been taking action and perfecting his craft for nearly a year before he found the internet, and started learning how to use it to generate leads. He got online when YouTube was just starting to take off, and he really took advantage of that. And so what happened was his journey to $50,000 a month was actually a year and a half of action taking and a year or so of failure. And Matt Lloyd, as I talked about before, he got online in 2009, and he basically started studying every educational and marketing material under the sun. And it took him about 2 years to really figure out what he needed to do to be producing and what he needed to do to create those results. And his journey to $100,000 a month was in reality a 3-year process. So whenever someone breaks through and seems to go from rags to riches overnight, it's usually because they've actually, in reality, they've been persistently trying and consistently failing for quite some time beforehand. But then they figure out what they need to adjust in their strategy, and things click for them, and then boom, you've got another overnight success story, when in fact it's actually not really overnight. So how does this relate to you? Well, your breakthrough will come once you've developed the skill sets in the areas you need to, which are lead generation and conversion, whether that's conversion to leads or conversion to sales. And when you've developed enough to be ready and open for success, it's not going to happen any sooner, and it's not going to happen any later than this. If you don't have the skill sets built in those fields yet, then just give yourself a break, ease up on yourself, and stop comparing your progress to the progress of those supposed overnight success stories. And appreciate that entrepreneurship is a journey, and it's not just about the destination. In the past, I've discussed how being at the destination and attaining that, having that goal completed, isn't what is actually going to give you the sense of happiness and fulfillment. It's actually the journey of making the progress towards that end destination and that end goal. So realize that, and at the same time, just be diligent in your learning and be diligent in honing your skill sets, and constantly be working on your mindset so that you're ready for success when the opportunity comes up. So thanks for listening to my message. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. If you did, leave me some likes, some hearts, share this video, and be sure to click the link below so you can get more information about what it is I do in order to generate traffic, how I can convert that traffic to leads, how I convert those leads to customers, repeat customers, and ascending customers. So if you want a really simple way of getting out of that feeling of frustration and feeling stuck, struggling, and overwhelmed with your business, then be sure to click that link below. Okay, thanks for listening. Leave me some likes, some hearts, share this video, and I'll see you on the next one.